Well, today at the PlayStation Showcase, we got to finally see footage of Dragon's Dogma 2. We knew this was in the works for a while now, and we finally got to see some gameplay footage, and let me tell you, it certainly looks like Dragon's Dogma. In this video, I sort of want to give my initial impressions and reaction of the gameplay footage and kind of go through a little bit of information that we do know from looking at the gameplay. So if you guys want to, dive into this a little bit, strap in, we're going to get into this right now. So the first thing I want to discuss is that Capcom has described this game as a single-player narrative-driven action RPG with a focus on a variety of different gameplay. This means the game is staying true to its roots because the first game did not have multiplayer in any way, although it did have an asynchronous feature known as pawns that allowed you to borrow other people's pawns and use them in their game, which is sort of like an AI companion that players could customize very, very thoroughly to a level that is not available in pretty much any other action RPG. So it looks like that's just going to be a single-player game from what we've seen so far. But the pawn system is making a return. You can very clearly see in the footage that the person is summoning a pawn, so that's also really, really exciting. But it's not only that, we also know that you'll be able to hire up to 2 more pawns, so potentially you could fill out an entire party of different pawns. For the game setting, Capcom has revealed that Dragon's Dogma 2 begins in a subterranean jail, not unlike a lot of other RPGs, as you hear a dragon's voice echoing. You play as the Arisen, no surprise there, set on a path to slay a dragon, a symbol of the world's destruction as it soars through the sky on massive wings, breathing flames that scorch everything in its path. Wouldn't be Dragon's Dogma without a dragon, obviously. Technically speaking, the game looks to be a beautiful modern rendition of the original, so it's preserving the art style and direction. The game looks very much like the original Dragon's Dogma game from an art style standpoint. If you look at it, you immediately can tell that it's Dragon's Dogma. They have not changed away from their sort of unique, quirky Japanese RPG style, and I really, really like that aspect of the game. And I'm really, really excited to see that they've kept that and sort of the quirkiness that goes along with that. That's something I'm really, really looking forward to, and it was I think one of the things that made Dragon's Dogma such a great game. We also know that Dragon's Dogma 2 is being developed on Capcom's Resident Evil engine, which should be exciting to see how the graphical detail applies to all the monsters and stuff. Obviously, all the games that they've been remaking or remastering, whatever you want to call it, for the Resident Evil games have been absolutely outstanding in the visuals department, so Dragon's Dogma 2 should be no different in this regard. Moving on a little bit to the gameplay, it looks like Dragon's Dogma. Again, it looks exactly what we wanted. Many of the original mechanics are showcased in the gameplay footage, such as monster climbing, meteor summoning, creating a walkway over cliffs using ice walls. We see players using bows, dual daggers, staves, greatsword, sword and shield. Combat looks engaging and strategic. There's destructible environments. So it looks like the class system shouldn't be too much different than the original game. I would be surprised if a lot of the same classes made it into the game. I'm sure there will probably be a few new ones as well. But I think for those of you who had a favorite class in Dragon's Dogma, odds are you will probably be able to play it in this game. We also got to see some returning monsters like the Griffin showcased for climbing, the stone golems, Medusas, and even a Sphinx-like monster also appeared. And there seems to be new races in the game also, like a Khajiit-looking race, like the cat-looking characters in the game, so that's interesting. We'll just have to see how that ties into the plot. That was something that was not in the original game. Dragon's Dogma is just one of those games that resonates with the Souls community, and if you saw our list of top RPGs of the decade, Dragon's Dogma made number 6 on that list because it just resonates with Souls players. It has a punishing, unforgiving nature to the game. There are a lot of hidden mechanics that you can dig deeply into and explore if you want, and you don't have to get through the game, but there's a lot below the surface, just like the Souls games, for those who like complexity and tinkering with their characters and seeing exactly what they can get out of a game. Dragon's Dogma had all of that, including some fantastic combat and obviously the pawn system, which is a little bit different than Dark Souls, but there are some similarities to the Souls franchise in that way, and I think a lot of players who really like Dark Souls found that in Dragon's Dogma, and I know they're excited for Dragon's Dogma 2. So what do you guys think after seeing the gameplay footage? Are you excited for this? This is a game that I know Fex and I have both been looking forward to for a very, very long time. I have very fond memories of this game. The Everfall is probably one of the coolest areas in any game RPG that I have ever played. And I'm just curious what you guys think. Have you guys played Dragon's Dogma? Is this a game that fell through your radar? Because if you have not played the original, you absolutely should go play it. And I'll probably pull it out and play it a little bit, as we lead up to Dragon's Dogma 2, just because it's such a fantastic game. We will obviously be making a wiki for this game. We have a Dragon's Dogma wiki as well, but we'll be making a Dragon's Dogma 2 wiki, so you can look forward to that. We'll obviously have tons of build guides and guides for this game. I cannot wait to play it.
Bye.